Excitement at the White House, excitement here in Saskatchewan, everyone sitting on the edge of their seats. I'm sure James Baxter was in the same boat up late last night. The editor and executive director of IPolitics joins us now via Skype. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for getting up for us. I know you're probably a little bit tired this morning as well.
I didn't get up. I didn't sleep. It was a pretty full night.
All right, let's talk about this craziness. Unofficial results are out. You know, we're still waiting on Florida this morning, but 303 electoral votes for Obama, 206 for Romney. Now, do you think the president was sweating last night?
I don't think so. I think it was the only people who were sweating were the television companies that were trying to milk this for as long as it could be. I think you know, the polls leading up for the last 2 weeks had been steadily showing a gap for Obama, and short of an incredible number of rogue polls, I think that they were sure that as long as they got their vote to come out, and it certainly did come out in large numbers, that they were going to be fine.
Now, the numbers were much closer, though, in the popular vote. Obama just had about 1 million more votes than Romney, and that was just catching up there at the end. What does this number mean?
Well, it's always tricky because the deep south of the U.S. and Texas are always so strongly Republican that sort of inflates the numbers. The rest of the country divides relatively evenly. So support for the Democrats and for Obama was, you know, considerably higher in the swing states and in traditional northeastern and Pacific Coast areas. In fact, Obama made considerable gains in those areas, but it's always offset by those numbers in the deep south. So. Obviously, he slipped down a bit. A lot of the last elections vote was an anti-George Bush vote more than along party lines. This was a bit more of a traditional outcome.
So a second term for the Democrats with that, you know, that traditional outcome. But what do you think that says about political ideologies, not only down in the States, but also here in Canada?
It's interesting. I mean, Canada is now the conservative bulwark in North America, and that's a bit of a different hat for us to be wearing. I think we'll see the Republicans do a lot of soul searching in the next couple of years. They'll obviously work hard to try and get the Senate in 2014 in the midterm elections, but you know, they've come up short in a number of elections now in trying to really topple the Democrats. And where the Democrats made real strides is with minority voters and new immigrants. And so, if anything, the Republicans should be afraid of what's coming, you know, 10 years out.
Mm-hmm. Now, our Prime Minister has already congratulated Obama, and, you know, he said he's looked forward to working with him. Now, maybe I'm reading between the lines, but I know everyone in Canada is thinking about that Keystone XL pipeline. Is it go time now that the election's over?
I don't know. I mean, Obama made a big point about pushing the domestic energy jobs that he wanted. He wanted oil companies to be drilling and exploring on U.S. soil, and so I don't think I don't think he feels any rush to get Keystone XL in. And certainly now gas prices are coming down a bit. I think as well Canada has to be looking at a west to east and enlarging the pipelines we have currently running to southern Ontario and out, because BC looks like a no-go. If Keystone's a no-go, the only way out for the oil is out through Ontario, and that might be the way it ends up going.
That's what Canadians are going to be watching now that we know who the new president is. Thanks, James, for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
James Baxter from IPolitics.ca.